Very good morning to all of you. Today we are starting chapter 13 binomial theorem in class 11. So first of all we will understand what is binomial expression. An expression containing two terms. Basically a polynomial of two terms is binomial. Now we know how to solve power 1, 2, 3 using the expansions a plus b or x plus y whole square whole cube. When power 1 we write it as it is. When we have whole square, x square, y square and 2xy. We know this also, x cube three x square y plus 3xy square plus y cube. These are known to us from the expansions well known to us. Now, what if we have any other power greater than 3? We do not have any particular expansion formula to expand this x plus y whole power 4 or any random power, say 7 or 15 and so on. For these expansions, we are going to use binomial theorem. Now, what binomial theorem says, it helps us to expand any power of a given binomial expression. Now, before we start deducing the identity, let us do it for a specific power. 4, we will start from 4c0, 4c1, 4c2, 4c3, 4c4. When it becomes equal, we will stop. Then we will pick up first term of the binomial, which is x, and raise to the highest power, which is 4 in this case. Then the power of x keeps on reducing term by term. This is x4, x cube, x square, x to the power 1, x to the power 0. So whether we write this term or not, it will not make any difference because anything raised to the power 0 will be 1. Now, second term of the binomial y, we will start from the least power. So we will start from 4. Here we started from highest power and here least power, and it will go on increasing. y1, y square, y cube and y4. Then all terms will be added. So this is the binomial expansion of x plus y whole power 4. Now using combinations, we already know that NC0, NCn is 1, NC1 is n. We did this in chapter 12, permutations and combinations. And the formula of any other combination is n factorial, r factorial, n minus r factorial. So these are the 3 points we are going to use. Further, if we are going to use any other property of combinations, I will make it clear before the concept. Now using this, NC0 is 1, so 4C0 will be 1. This term I am simplifying. 1 into x to the power 4. This is again 1, so only x power 4 will remain. 4c1, nc1 will be n. So 4c1 will be 4 x cube y. Then 4c2 we need to calculate from this. I will solve one for you. 4 factorial, 2 factorial, n minus r means 4 minus 2, 2 factorial. So 4 into 3 into 2 factorial, 2 into 2. So this is 6. This term also we have done. Now we are on this and the answer is 6x square y square. Next, 4c3. Now here we need one more property to avoid calculation at every step. There is a property of combination. ncx is equals to ncy if either x is equal to y or the sum of both suffix should be equal to n, right? So coming back to this case, I need 4c3. 4c3 will be same as 4c1 according to the property, because 3 plus 1 is 4, which is same. So 4c1 we have solved using the property, so this is also going to be 4 xy cube. Then ncn, this is n, will be 1 into 1 into y4. So this is the final expansion of x plus y whole power 4. Next very interesting concept is Pascal's triangle. Now here n is the power which we are raising for the binomial. Here the coefficients. Let us first understand. I am writing two ones. Now 1 1, and here will be the sum 1 plus 1 2. This will be 1, the corners will be 1 because single addition. Then the sum here 3 3. Next step 1 4 6 4 1. So the same way triangle will keep on increasing. Here it will be 1 5 10 10 5 and 1 and so on. Now what is the significance of this Pascal's triangle in binomial theorem? When n is equal to 1, see the first stage, here n is 1. In the second stage n is 2, third stage n 3, here n is 4 and n is 5 here. Now let's see, when n is 4, the coefficient in the expansion of x plus y to the power 4. When n is 4, the coefficients will be 1 4 6 4 1. Let's check, we have just solved this expansion. Let's check in that 1 4 6 4 1. Look at this. This is 1 when nothing is written, 1 4 6 4 1. Now let's check for x plus y whole cube. When n is 3, the coefficient should be 1 3 3 1. Let us see this. 1 3 3 1. So this Pascal triangle helps us to find the coefficients of expansion of that particular level. So if we talk about x plus y whole square, when n is 2, the coefficients should be x square plus 2xy plus y square. So only the coefficients we are going to deal with 1 2 and 1. So when n is 2, 1 2 1. So this is where Pascal's triangle is helpful to us. Now there is a small observation to find out number of terms. In this expansion, value of n is 1 and the number of terms are 2. Here n is 2 and number of terms are exactly 1 more than this, 3 terms. Here power is 3 and number of terms are 4. Power 4, number of terms are 5. So for any random expansion, suppose this, if I am talking about x plus y raised to the power 15, the number of terms will be 15 plus 1, 16. Without actually expanding, I can find the number of terms in any expansion, binomial expansion. So number of terms in any binomial expansion will be n plus 1. Next, if we have negative sign in the binomial expansion, say power n. I am not raising it up to any. In place of n, let us try for power 5. So without actual expansion, I can tell the number of terms to be 6. 5 plus 1, 6. Let us expand. See, I will write it term by term. First term, second term, third, fourth. Total 6 terms are there, fifth and sixth. So first term will be 5c0, then 5c1, 5c2, 5c3, 5c4, 5c5. Then first term will be in descending order of the power, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Second term is in increasing order, ascending order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now observe when y is negative, right? Any raised to the power 0 will be 1, whether it is a negative number or a positive number. So this term will remain positive. Minus y to the power 1, this term has to be negative. Y square positive because even power. So for even powers I can write positive, and for odd powers I have to write negative. So ultimately it will be always alternate starting from plus minus plus minus plus minus. Alright, so in all those expansions where negative term occurs within odd power, I have to put a minus sign before it. Okay, now let us write general formula. Suppose I am having n. nc0, nc1, nc2 till ncn. Where we stop? 5c5 ncn, when the upper suffix is same as lower suffix. Then first will be in decreasing power. So highest power is n, then n minus 1, n minus 2, and last it becomes 0 in the last term. Then y power keeps on increasing from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, then 3, 4, and it will end at the maximum power, which is n. So this is the general expansion of any binomial raised to the power n. Same for negative, we can write nc0, xn, y0. All terms will remain same, but first term positive, so second negative. I am copying down exactly same from here. y2 plus minus plus, next term will be minus. I am adding one more term, n minus 3 y3, then plus ncn x0 yn. Last term, the sign depends on the value of n. If it is odd, it will be, so we write it this way. If n is odd, the term will be negative. If n is even, the term will be positive. Okay, so these are the general formulas. This is binomial theorem. But if you know how to write it using the formula, well and good. Now next is, I have named first equation as 1 and this is 2 because I am going to use it now. Suppose if I want to add first and second, better I should write this way, plus. If I want to add first and second, so this plus this, since the terms are same, I can write twice nc0 x and y0. This will be added to this, different sign, same terms will get cancelled. Coming to them, third one, again twice nc2 x n minus 2 y2. Then next term being plus sign and minus sign will get cancelled, and it will go till n or n minus 1 and so on. So here I can say, see, the terms places first term, second term, third term, first, second, third, fourth, last. First and third are the terms at odd places because 1 and 3 are odd numbers. Second term, fourth term, sixth term are the terms at even places. Same for this expansion. Now see, twice of NC0. This term is first term. So if I take 2 common, I am left with first term plus NC2, this term, third. Then next will be 5 and so on. So that means in addition I can say twice sum of all terms at odd places. Got this point? Odd places or even places are decided by the terms place in the expansion. First term, second term, third term. First odd, even, odd and so on. Right. So next if I subtract, then it will be, if I subtract first equation minus second equation, it will be twice sum of all terms at, this was odd places, so now we will have even places. Let's see how. If I subtract them, that means this minus this, so cancel. Second term minus of minus second term, so minus minus will be plus, so these two terms will be added, and second term is an even place term. Same way third term will get cancelled, fourth terms will be added, so ultimately this is second term plus fourth term plus sixth term and so on. So sum of all the terms at even places. So subtraction will be the sum of even places and addition will be the sum of odd places. Now number of terms we have discussed for x plus y whole power n and x minus y whole power n. One term added, so n plus 1, n plus 1. Now in these two cases we need to see when we are adding both expansions and when we are subtracting both expansions. If n is odd, then in both of them we will have n plus 1 by 2 terms in both. When n is even, in this case plus case is n by 2 plus 1, and in subtraction case this is n by 2. For example, this is sum of 5 plus 7x, 5 minus 7x, so this is matching with this, and n here is odd, so this odd case number of terms will be n plus 1 by 2. So this expansion will have 15 plus 1 by 2, 16 by 2, 8 terms. Coming to this is negative and even power. So negative and even, n by 2 terms, so 18 by 2, 9 terms. Now tell me the number of terms in this. Since it is not a binomial, you cannot directly write 24 terms. So first we need to convert it into a binomial. As you can see, this is a perfect square, or you can do it by middle term splitting. This is actually 1 plus 3x whole square. You can check it back. A square, b square, and 3x into 2 into 1 will be 2ab, 6x. So now it's a binomial when I apply 23 into 2. So number of terms are 47. 46 plus 1, 47. Now one question, evaluate this. Now if you remember, in case of subtraction it was twice sum of all terms at even places or odd places? It is even places. That means first of all total number of terms will be, this is negative case of odd. In case of odd it was n plus 1 by 2. So 5 plus 1 6 by 2 3 terms. So that means twice even places terms means second term plus fourth term plus sixth term, right? So let us start writing. Maximum power 5. Since I am writing second term, so 5c0, first term I have to skip. So I am starting from 5c1. Then I will skip the next term of 5c2. This will be 5c3. Then 5c5. Okay. Then first term of the binomial. We always start from highest power, but this is not first term. So 1 power less 4. Then 2 and then 0. And 1 we will start from 0 in the first term, so this will be 1. Sorry, this is 1, 3 and 5. Plus plus. Now only we have to solve this. NC1 is n, so 5 into root 3 4 times will be 9. Then 5c3 will be 10 after solving, and this is 3. 5c5 will be 1 into 1 into 1 will remain 1. 45, 31, 2 into 76, 152. The continuation of the same question, evaluate this. Hence, show, hence, wherever it is written, that means using the first part of the question, show that this root 3 plus 1 whole power 5 lies between 152 and 153. So in the first part we have solved minus root 3 minus 1, it came 152. I need to find this, so keeping this on one side, this will be 152, and when I will shift this term, this will be plus under root 3 minus 1, 5. Now this term will lie between 0 and 1. Under root 3 value, subtracting 1 and raising power 5. The value of this particular term will lie from 0 to 1. So that means the integral part of this will be some 152 plus 0 point something. So that something we do not need to calculate. What we need is integral part only. Integral part of root 3 plus 1 5 is 153. Okay, so fairly it is lying between 152 to 153, hence proved. So now these all questions you can try on your own. 13A question 1 to 8.